Last Saturday, SGTV reporter Michael Duggan visited Pets Inc. in West Columbia as the nonprofit celebrated staying open thanks to local donations.
After Michael's story, we'll be back with your national news.
Pets Incorporated, a nonprofit animal shelter here in West Columbia, has seen some financial uncertainty over the past few months. But now, this no-kill facility will be able to keep its doors open thanks to some generous donations.
We have received over 3,000 donations, which we estimate to be at this time around $117,000. The majority of our costs are medical fees. A lot of the animals come in here are abandoned, and they have medical issues when they come in. So we have to, even though it costs us about $150 to do the standard medical for every animal, a lot of times we end up spending more than that per animal due to situations. Some animals come in here with injured legs, buckshot. Sometimes we have to pay for x-rays at another facility and then do a surgery, and we have to pay those costs. I have an animal in the office right now. His name is Casey Jones. He is a lab mix. He was one of those cases I was talking about, buckshots, was shot. We had to amputate his leg. We had to invest money in him. We're still trying to adopt him out. If it takes us 5 years to adopt him out, then he will stay here for 5 years. However, you go to the Pound Humane Societies 5 days to a week, if you're lucky, to adopt them out, and they will put animals down just for space. We will not do that. That's what makes us a no-kill facility. It gets a little discouraging at times when we go through these rough patches, and it almost seems like, okay, where are our supporters? Where are they? Does anybody care other than us? And then to have this outpour of support just makes us feel good. It reminds us, okay, why we're doing what we're doing and why we've hung in all this time and why we're going to continue with our mission.
And many animals, like this chocolate lab named Fondue, are out and available every day to be walked, fostered, or adopted.
Well, basically, I've been begging for a dog for a few months, and for Christmas I came home from the break, and he was waiting on me, and now we have him, and he lives in my apartment with me. They have the best prices from what I've seen, like looking at like PetSmart and all that, just like to get their nails trimmed and like their shots. Their prices are really good. They've been very nice. They're all like courteous, and all the animals are so cute, so I love coming up here.
As far as the future goes, Pets Inc. is looking to expand medical care for their animals and their involvement of volunteers. If you'd like to volunteer, you can come to their location in West Columbia or go to their website, petsinc.org. For all the animals here, I'm Michael Duggan, SGTV News 4.
Welcome back to Monday Night Mashup. I'm Daniel Shelley with your national news. This past Tuesday, in the midst of the storm, a baby girl was delivered alongside a highway in Atlanta. With the traffic at a halt, the family could not make it to the hospital safely. Luckily for the family, Sandy Springs Police Captain Steve Rose was on the scene and was able to help through the delivery. Minutes after the birth, an ambulance arrived and was able to transport the girl to a local hospital. Also battling the storm was Birmingham, Alabama, where standstill traffic kept a neurosurgeon from an emergency brain surgery. Dr. Zenko Renku was blocked by accidents in traffic as he received word of a man who needed emergency brain surgery. Renku walked 6 miles in 20-degree weather to reach the patient. He told NBC News that the patient had a 90% chance of death and that was not going to happen on his watch. On his journey, Renku helped strangers push their cars away from ditches and was eventually given a lift by a friendly passerby. Renku's dedication saved the patient's life. In Detroit, a 59-year-old woman is accused of killing and murdering and dismembering her 32-year-old son. She is expected to be arraigned on charges of putting her son's body parts into 4 garbage bags and tossing them out the windows of her SUV in broad daylight. The suspect and victim have not been released due to the suspect's pending arraignment. An autopsy has been performed but is inconclusive at this time.
A USC student is charged with filing a false police report and false swearing. Tuesday night, the City Council held a meeting to the public to discuss its controversial efforts to deal with Columbia's homeless. Harris Pastides will give his State of the University address tomorrow as he begins his 6th year as university president. the women's soccer team, the men's tennis team, the USC women's golf team, the men's soccer team, the women's equestrian team begins competition today as they take on Kansas State. A new movie is providing audience members with a different perspective of a popular British boy band. Read all about One Direction, This Is Us, as well as all of the full news and sports stories. Find exclusive videos and even more at dailygamecock.com. Jeremy Urso, 90.5 seconds of the news.
In other news, the Winter Olympics is opening this Friday, the 7th of February in Sochi, Russia. The Winter Games are scheduled to run up to February 23rd, during which time 98 events will be completed in 15 winter sports disciplines. Interestingly, this year's Games in Sochi will be the first Olympics to be held in the Russian Federation since the fall of the USSR in 1991. That concludes our world news this evening. After the break, Hannah and Jeffrey will have your weather report.
Push your bypass with the bag over your head. Push your bypass away from the end.
In other news, yesterday was not just the Super Bowl, but the always forgettable Groundhog's Day. If you can't wait for spring, be prepared to cover your ears and hide in your pink snuggie because Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow. This means that, according to the groundhog, expect another 6 weeks of winter. However, the warm weather in recent days provides some hope for an early spring in the south and proving the groundhog wrong. In national weather, the Midlands and the edges of the south seem to be the only areas not experiencing temperatures that are around or below freezing. Many workers were sent home after a mere 2 hours or less at their businesses today. The lowest temperatures are seen at the Canadian border with 10 degrees in Montana. That's it for this week's weather forecast. Don't click away because we'll be right back with Danielle Barilla with your sports update.
Hello, and welcome back to Monday Night Mashup on SGTV Campus Channel 4. My name is Danielle Barilla, and this is your weekly Gamecock Sports Update. This weekend, the women's tennis team had a bittersweet match, and this was a bittersweet weekend for the women Gamecocks. The team defeated VCU in a competitive matchup, but also received its first loss of the season to Virginia on Sunday afternoon. During the competition against Virginia, USC number 1 Aliana Leshima lost her match 6-1, 6-3. Although the Gamecocks did not receive a W on Saturday, Katerina Popova won her match against Virginia. The Lady Gamecocks have a 3-1 overall record thus far in the season. Now we will be moving on to men's tennis. The men's tennis team this past weekend lost to Georgia Tech on Friday by 2 points, but were able to bounce back, defeating both Middle Tennessee State University and Wofford this past Sunday. USC freshman Andrew Schaefer, who has the number 6 spot this season, gave the Gamecocks the win against Middle Tennessee after a decisive straight-set victory against Sam Matheson. During the second event against Wofford, the Gamecocks' number 1 player, Svehan Mihau, defeated Rob Galloway in 3 sets, giving his team a 4-1 victory. The men's tennis team is ranked 17th in the nation and will be playing Wake Forest, who are ranked 20th, in Winston-Salem, North Carolina on this Friday. The Lady Gamecocks will be back on the road on February 6th when they play the Mississippi State Bulldogs, but will return to Colonial Life Arena next Sunday. Although the Gamecock men's basketball team saw their first conference win against Texas A&M this past week at home, the Gamecocks fell to the Ole Miss Rebels in Oxford this past Saturday. It was a very close game, with the final score being 75-74. Sindarius Thornwell, the standout freshman forward, had his first career double-double, but it was not enough to pull out a win. Thornwell still led the Gamecocks by scoring an impressive 24 points. The Gamecocks will be on the road this week as they face the Georgia Bulldogs on Wednesday. The game will be broadcast on the SEC network, and tip-off is scheduled for 8 o'clock p.m. The 2013 football season has officially come to an end. Last night, the Seattle Seahawks dominated the Denver Broncos. Initially, the Broncos were expected to win and defeat Seattle by 2 points, but the Seahawks disarmed the highest scoring offense in NFL history. The final score was 43-8, with the Seahawks coming out on top, winning their first Super Bowl in franchise history. Seahawks linebacker Malcolm Smith was named MVP after he returned an interception 69 yards for a touchdown, recovered a fumble, and recorded 10 tackles. The championship reminded all football fans that it's the defense that wins championships, and the NFL has not seen a defense as impressive as Seattle's in a very long time. That's all the sports news we have for you tonight on Monday Night Mashup. Remember to tune in on Thursday evening at 8 o'clock p.m. here on Campus Channel 4 for more Gamecock sports news on SGTV's Capital City Sports. Please stay tuned for more news here on Monday Night Mashup. My name is Danielle Barilla, and have a great evening. For me, the most entertaining part of the Super Bowl last night was the tweets that came along with it. Like, I feel like social media is huge today.
Did you see JCPenney was tweeting
with mittens?
Yes.
Everyone thought they were drunk, but they weren't.
Brilliant promotional campaign, in my opinion.
Nice. Did you guys have a favorite commercial during the Super Bowl?
Tim Tebow.
I did not have
Tim
a favorite
Tebow.
Really? I love the Cheerios commercial was personally my favorite.
I thought they all were lackluster, in my opinion.
Well, and there's all the controversy around the Coca-Cola commercial now.
Oh, yeah, I heard about them.
I personally believed it was beautiful.
I thought it was a great commercial. So
I personally missed it. So
okay.
That's all we have for you this evening. Tune in next week. Tune in next week for more Gamecock news. We'll be here at 7 o'clock p.m. Same place, same time. Have a great evening.